Hello, 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 and welcome, everyone! How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. We're here with the Streamiversary stream. That's right, it's the Streamiversary. What does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things. It means, one, that I have been doing this whole thing for like 5 years now. 5. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Siri, what comes after 4? She can only count to 4. Dang it! We're stuck. Oh no. Well, what are we gonna do? Well, I know that if we can count to 2, we can count to how many years I've been an affiliate on Twitch. Which I guess technically this is the affiliate-versary thing. Because really, I started streaming in November. Because I started off with Nano Streamo, which was kind of this big thing where I tried to stream just a little bit every single day in November. I got most of it. But that's how I got started. And so, to celebrate, you know, it's close enough that we could kind of mix the two together here. And so I wanted to do something kind of to celebrate and have some fun and everything like that. We've got all sorts of different crazy things here going on. Speaking of things I don't want to play, of course, tonight for the Streamiversary, just like last year, we played through Final Fantasy 1 in one sitting. That's right, one sitting. We did the whole thing, and we beat it in about 9 hours. Tonight we're doing the follow-up. We're doing Final Fantasy 2. Did I say I was never going to play Final Fantasy 2 again? Yes, I did. Am I still going to be playing it tonight? Yes, I am. But that's mostly because the Pixel Remaster added a lovely little feature that allows you to quadruple your stat growth and everything like that. So you don't really have to grind. You can just play through it straight, and generally you stay on top of everything. The only thing you really have to do is, if we go for that true Ultima goal, I will need to go back and make sure I am doing all of my weapons on different characters instead of just... on one character. I need to get all the weapons leveled up instead of just one weapon or something like that on certain characters. So, that being said, I think that's... Oh, right! All of our channel point redeems are half off tonight! The only things is we have turned off the regular Renegade Hydrate because we have the wheel. And we've turned off the Make BB Talk things because BB will be reading any message you attach to either a sub or a tip or bits. So BB will be reading all of those. So if you want to make BB Talk, it's tied into those tonight instead of the channel point redeems. Other than that, all the other ones are still here. BB will tell jokes. BB will ask questions. We can add more BBs. All of that. All of those are still available as for channel point redeems for tonight. So, that being said, are we prepared to dive back into the world of Final Fantasy II and experience ultimate suffering? Yay! All right. Get my controller hooked up here as we move into the game screen. Welcome to Final Fantasy II. I will not be reading all the dialogue and all that stuff out, just like last year. Oh, hey, look. It's all these from I don't want a load game. And I'm not calling him by those names. Virion. Shall be Gizmo. No, I don't want to start with those names. You really are not good about this, are you? The keyboard controls for the Pixel remasters are kind of funky. I'm trying to think here. What was their name? There. So Cheebs was one of my chinchillas. The other three were names of hamsters I had. So I suppose I should talk about a little bit about the fact that why I don't like this game. Because not everybody remembers way back in the day when I first started this whole thing and I played through this game. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that this game has a lot of plot points that go nowhere. Routinely, you are sent on missions that either end up with, you didn't need to be doing this, there's nothing to do when you get there, or the thing you get is not useful in the grand sense of the plot. And a big part of that is just, it drives me nuts, because it's like one of those things where it's like, it makes the entire game feel like filler until you get to the ending. And by the time you get to the ending, you're just sitting there going like, there's been like so many plot twists that are either easily forecast or completely just a waste of time. That you're just ready to be done with the game. Four youths from Fynn have also found themselves fleeing. Four youths, do keep in mind, I do not believe the four youths are all siblings in any sense. Maria, or Peanut Butter and Cheebs in this case, are brother and sister. But the others, I don't think are. And I think Mohawk's parents need to be brought in for, you know, some sort of child protective investigation. So right now what we're doing is essentially that Hilda, who is the princess of the kingdom we just fled from, and a white mage called Minwu just resurrected us. Why? That's a fascinating question. I don't think we ever get an explanation as to why. Because we were dead kids, I guess. But yeah, they don't ever find Cheebs. I guess he's just gone. Not like, you know, they just had us name him for like the one conversation and then he's gone. You're buying that, right? And then they tell us, it's like, we want to fight in the rebellion. Well, no, you just go home. But our homes were destroyed. They were in Fynn, which has been destroyed. But then we finally get a taste of like the one cool thing that this game does that for some reason, I'm guessing because it didn't get as well received as any of the other games. That it kind of got thrown out a lot like the second Zelda game, where like they never tried to do the side view type stuff anymore. I was thinking of the configuration. No. Configuration. We're just gonna crank these up. Do I actually have weapons? I can't remember if I actually start with weapons or not. Yeah, I do. The Pixel Masters have got me all messed up because we've been playing Final Fantasy XII, of course, on the channel for the race. And during that, on my controller, B is the confirm button and A is the cancel button. In Pixel Remaster here, this is the reverse situation where it's B is cancel and A is confirmed. God, bows are terrible. Like, I'm pretty sure even if we level her up, like, bows are pretty terrible. But we'll see. We'll just keep her on bows then, since it's what she started with. If we're gonna do True Ultima or something later on, I'll probably do it on Furion more than anything. I was gonna say, how do we get ambushed by these guys? But then again, I was thinking of the fact that it's a bunch of snakes and bees. Like, of course you could get ambushed by those. Who's paying attention to see if when snakes and bees are gonna show up and grab you? This is something else they did in this one that really wasn't a thing in any of the other games. Just the fact that poison is a single encounter type thing. Once you're out of the encounter, you're not poisoned anymore. So instead, there's a greater condition, kind of an evolved version of poison you start running into later in the game, called disease, and that sticks around outside of combat. Oh. Why? Because I can't walk in a straight line. Let's see, am I going to survive this? Well, is Gizmo's going to survive this? I'm going to survive this just fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the town. I don't really care about this town. This is the only time we'll be ever stopping in this town. There's no reason to ever come here. Except for to sleep in while you're on your way to Fynn the first time. There's no plot points here. The shops here don't carry anything that you don't already have can't get in Altair. They don't have any information. There's nothing. It's a pointless town. It's really just here for right at this point of the game when you have to walk around. Because even then, by the time we get back to Altair, they're going to give us a canoe, which means we can skip all the way directly to the castle whenever we want just by going down the river, since the rivers don't have encounters. Now, those who have been over the channel for a very long time, almost 5 years, will probably remember this as the time Vry accidentally game overed the game without ever saving. Because I talked to one of the soldiers here, which instantly is a combat with a fight that is way harder than anything you're set up to be able to face right at this point. Like, they deal like 100-something damage, and I couldn't figure out what the heck I was supposed to do. Because, see, we need to go to the bar, but this guy's in front of the bar, blocking the only path to the bar. So how do we get to the bar? And the answer is, we out of bounds the whole thing. So you just walk around here, where there's no indication that you would actually be able to go this way, or go this far out of town. And if you go like 2 steps past it, you are kicked out of town, as demonstrated. You can't go that way. So there's this very... Oh, the gates are just closed. Okay. Yay! I thought I was gonna get myself killed again. And of course, none of these shops are available or anything yet either, so there's no point in trying to go in the ones. Just don't bother. Yeah, so you can't get to the bar because this is a wall. I suppose the wall was probably your best indication that you can't just go to the bar. You have to find some way around it. But honestly, it's like one of those... It's a very early kind of God dang it moment where you're like, how are you supposed to figure this out back in the old NES days? Because, yeah, you just walk around here to the wall. Very carefully, because you don't want to accidentally wander out too far. And now you can go to the bar. And I know what you're thinking. Right, that is a really ridiculous thing to happen this early in the game. Who could possibly figure out that you're supposed to go around the perimeter of the town in one specific spot as the only place you can actually get outside of the perimeter of the town to wander over into this bar? Apparently frickin' everybody! Because the entire town is in here! Where are you going? And this is where we get to use the keyword system. So we learned the keywords. We learned Wild Rose, which is the password for the revolution, I've got friends everywhere. Ah, you're with the rebels. And then he leaves. I guess leaves us to run the bar. He just ditches out of the place. And we steal all his stuff. Now we tell him the password. So this is why I think it's hilarious. Like, anytime we have to figure out a password in Final Fantasy XIV, there's almost always one of the options is Wild Rose. This is why. It get used so much in this that I made a reoccurring joke out of the first time I played it. About just any time I was asked to interact with anything, even inanimate objects, my first instinct is always to say Wild Rose. Meanwhile, this is Scott. He's the crown prince of another kingdom called Kashuan. He's dying. He was engaged to Hilda. But he's dying. So he asks you to go and give this stuff to Scott, his brother, or not Scott, Gordon, his brother. Of course, the crown princes of the nation of Kashuan. Scott and Gordon. My brother, Cheebs, have you heard of him? He's kind of small. And then he gives you a ring. Okay, that one always gets me. It's like, I've grown very tired as of late. Collapses directly on the floor with a kathunk. I guess you were tired. And I'd ask these guys if they want a drink or anything, but I'm pretty sure they all attack me if I say anything to them. Plus side about this situation, I get to leave town like that. Now we're done. Now we have to go back to where we just started from. And I think this is supposed to be our big, like, proving that we can be useful to the rebellion by sneaking in and getting this ring from Scott. I always get Scott and Gordon mixed up. It's easy to do, as you'll find out, except for the fact that Scott has a way more likable personality. Like that your HP grows so fast that you're actually getting to the point of being like low health just because, not because you're taking damage, but because your max HP keeps expanding too high. Uh-oh, Mohawk might be dead. Or not. This is such a nice little town. Who would have known that the terrorist cell was actually operating underneath it? Alright, that settled. I like the fact that there's not even like a terrorist cell that like is hidden. It's just inside one of the buildings, the biggest one, no less. This is Gordon. And as always, I must read his traditional first line in the traditional voice of Gordon. My name is Gordon. I was once the Prince of Kashwan. Now I'm nothing but a coward. That voice sets the tone for essentially what Gordon will be like for the rest of the game. Key item. Here, have a ring. Yep, it's your ring. It's your brother's ring. Wild Rose. I'm just a spineless coward. Go ahead and laugh. I deserve it. Ha ha. Okay, I want to just emphasize this point since we're right here. This drives me nuts more than anything. You walk in the door. So you go in the door. It's a straight line past into this room. You go through this room. There's stairs right there. At the top of the stairs, without having to turn or move or anything, there is the door that you're supposed to go into that has Hilda and everything. So what happens when you walk in here? You go all the way here, and you have to turn slightly to go talk to Hilda. Just put her here, man. I'd sit there and say, oh, well, what about that other throne? No one ever uses the other throne. That ring belongs to Scott. Is he still alive? No! Keep it? Why? What do we care about your engagement ring? Learn Mithril. Ask about Mithril. So our weapons suck, so we need to go and get Mithril. Minwu joins the party and gives me a canoe. And I know what you're thinking. Where's the king in all of this? Well, he's chilling here in bed. Which is actually sad that I never really explained to him, because he actually usually has some pretty useful things to say. Like, if you take any of, like, a lot of the keywords that you can ask about, you can take to the king, and he'll actually have pretty good advice on what you need to do with that. Kanu. Paloom. Just like my favorite name for a town. See, do you guys actually have better weapons than what I can get? No. Yeah, bows have +1 attack. They have the best magic interference, but I don't know what that means. Since we're stuck here for the long haul, though, let's find out what it means. Let's see here. Advanced 2, magic interference. Magic interference is a hidden stat that penalizes magic users who wear heavy defensive gear. Oh. So essentially, there's no good reason to use a bow. It gives you +1 attack, whereas like the other baseline weapons all give at least +7 to attack. And then it has higher magic interference, which means that if you're a mage, you don't want to have a bow either, because it's going to do less magic. I really don't need to talk to anybody here, but I want to put the dot on my map just in case. It's also where Sid is, but we'll have to talk to him later anyway. So I think the only real advantage to bows is that they don't suffer from a disadvantage being in the back row. But if they're already so much weaker than everything else, I don't necessarily get why you would do that in the first place. I'm thinking like, well, maybe you have lighter armor. But the only reason you would have lighter armor is if you were a caster, and bows automatically screw that plan over. So I'm just trying to figure out what the point of bows are. But I suppose if we want to make Maria like a spellcaster, we probably should buy her like a something with less magic interference that we can use. Should probably be a mace. Give him a battle axe, him a longsword. And him a mace. We could try and go and... So I know we're going into our first dungeon here soon. I'm just trying to get... Armor is expensive. Unfortunately, I think that means we don't have enough money left for spells for Maria. So maybe she's just going to be stuck with... I know we get some spell books out of chests in the dungeon, so... Hi. Wild Rose. I like how if we tell him we're with the rebellion, he's like, I don't buy that. A bunch of kids would be in the rebellion. That's ridiculous. But then we ask him about mithril, apparently a fairly common metal that gets mined for here in this part of the world. And all of a sudden he's like, I've got some leads. Please tell Hilda, please hold off. And so he's like, you're strangers to me though, so go and rescue all the people that they've been enslaved and then we'll talk. Which, I mean, you can. I honestly have never, ever actually gone back and talked to him. You'll see what I'm talking about, but essentially, like, halfway through the dungeon, there is you find the slaves. And they're like, oh, you freed them, yay, blah, blah, blah. And so you go, okay, now you go and be free, but then you can keep going down further deep in the dungeon, and you're like, okay, so you do it, and you beat it, and you get the mithril. Don't need to talk to, go back and talk to that guy at all. Welcome to dungeon number 1. The nice part is now, like, with the Pixel Remaster, this is way better. because a lot of it is you can watch. I mean, you could see where all the treasure chests are. You don't have to go around a lot of dead ends. The only thing it doesn't help with is like the 5-door problems, which, you know, we'll see about those in a little bit. I don't think we ever get an answer to the fact that why the Imperials are actually fighting with the goblins. Like on the side of the goblins are on the side of the Empire. Unless the implication there is the goblins are also from Hell because the Empire works with monsters from Hell. This would later be done better in the plot of Doom. Okay, so there's one chest over there. One lone Sasquatch? That's suspicious. Sasquatch often travel in packs. Okay, so there's a chest there, and up there, and back there. There's 3 on this floor. Eye drops. Let's see here. Oh, geez. I think Mohawk there is the first to crack the 100 damage mark. Almost got to 200. I didn't really want the high potion. That wasn't really super necessary here, but... So one of the weirder things about this game that drives most people away from it is the fact that your stat growth is entirely based off of what actions you take in combat. So if you attack, you'll either gain strength or agility, depending on what you're using as a weapon. If you get hit, you'll gain HP. If you use magic, you'll gain magic and MP. That sort of thing. It makes it kind of a pain in the butt to grind any sort of like decent skills, especially magic. This is the door problem. This is essentially every single dungeon has at least one of these. Where, yeah, essentially pick a door. There's 4 or 5 doors usually. And you pick one. And is it where you want to go? No, it's just an empty room. Walk out, try another door. There's no way to find out which one's the right door other than just trying them all until you find the next one. And then it screws with you because you're like, what if there's something in one of the other rooms? There isn't. I think at any point I found maybe one door that led to a room with something in it. And it's usually never in the form of these 4 doors lined up like this. It's like a door somewhere else that has the chest in it. And that's not to say all the doors that are not part of that also aren't empty. It's just like, you'll still get doors that are, I think the one right above us here actually, if I recall, is actually empty. Yep. So we found this out a while back when Lunar was actually playing through these games. Like, if you see them trying to self-destruct and it says miss, like, how do you miss self-destructing? Well, actually, it turns out the fact that if the bombs are not at below their maximum health, self-destruct will always miss. Apparently, you have to have been hit at least once to self-destruct successfully. There's nothing down there, right? Right. See, miss. 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 But if any of these hits didn't wipe them out, then they could self-destruct and deal, I think, damage equal to the remaining health. Maybe with a multiplier at higher levels? No, it's the last one. Dang it. And here's all the slaves. Help us! Help us! Gizmo, it's you! Am I ever glad you're here? This is Paul. He's a professional thief that apparently knows the group. Anyway, they stole that guy's daughter and now they're returning her and blah, blah, blah. And at this point, we could go back and talk to him, and he will explain that we need to go back and go deeper into the mine in order to find the mithril that we're looking for. So, like, duh? He also might give you the warning, the fact that the final boss here has mithril armor on, which means he's highly impervious to physical attacks. Of which I will explain the solution to that here shortly. Yay, we have the fire tome. And of course, one of the first ways to get around the whole magic. Minwu. So yeah, one of the best ways to deal with the mithril armor is magic, essentially is what it assumes you're going to use. So it makes sure you have spells and things like that. But really, I find the best way to deal with the high defense characters is to spend a little time here training your fists up. Bare hand combat. Because the funny thing is bare hand combat is not considered a weapon attack. So mithril armor has no effect on it. And honestly, I could argue that the best way to go through the game is just make everyone fight barehanded. Because while the damage, I do believe, scales a bit off of your strength stat most of all, fire leveled up on peanut butter. Yay! Okay, so I'm supposed to go up and around to get out of here. I think that's the first time they've got a decent attack off on me. What do you think? Chances of there actually being like anything behind either of these doors? Well, that's the final boss. Well, the final boss of the dungeon, at least. The enemy AI in this game was always really weird, like, especially at low levels. Like, the goblins all have, like, I believe a 50% chance of trying to flee. And that can miss, apparently. I mean, it sometimes tells me I can't run away, so I assume that's the same with them. See, they finally got to use self-destruct properly. Yay, balloons! You did it! So proud of you guys. One of you blew up. Honestly, the most time of this run of this playthrough is going to be just dealing with these random combats. Especially since the game likes to throw like really big packs of enemies at you. Like that one you just saw. It's just kind of like, wow, that's a lot of just random enemies that are just going to do one thing that's not going to work because they get to go first. Just checking. Of course not. And eventually it'll get to the point where Maria, or Peanut Butter in this case, can actually do like spell casting that just wipes out the entire group. And then we won't have to worry anymore. Problem really right now is she just doesn't have the MP for it. Land turtle! Let's see, sap, dispel, shell, wall, blink, barrier. There's really not much I can use with him. There, we'll just make him heal things. But yeah, you see, the punching just cuts through it, because I probably didn't need to do that. Come on. Oh. We're so close. I tried running away from some of these fights, but quite honestly, running away in this game is awful. Like, you'll sit there and just, it takes forever and it's not worth it, especially at this point. You can probably, in this situation, finish off a fight faster than it would take to run away from one. Yeah, yes. You're Mithril, you got a Mithril blade, you got a Mithril this, you got a Mithril that, blah, blah, blah. See, he gets 4 hits. He does 10 damage. He gets 4 hits. He does 181 damage. That is the power of fists in this game. See, you just give people fists and boom. They just tear through things like that. Yay, and we got Mithril. Like, some Mithril. I don't necessarily know how much you get, but apparently it's enough to supply the entire rebellion in a chest. Magic, Minwu, use teleport. Which takes us outside, but puts the caster in no critical health. So what? We just have Minwu cure himself. Actually, just cure everybody. And we could go back and see Yosef and see him reunited with his daughter and all that stuff, but we're not going to do that. Because I don't care about any of these people. And there's a reason I don't care about any of them. And you'll find out why here later. It becomes very evident why. And you're probably thinking, oh, Vry, you're acting like they're dead to you. Funny you should say that. So yeah, we can just skip going back to the town and talking to those people. There's no reason for it. Yeah, funny fact also, you don't need the boat. Technically, I believe you can get back around to the castle without going to Poft and Paloom to go on the boat. I've accidentally wandered back there sometimes, as I sort of was doing right here. We found the queen bee! Maybe once we eliminate her, we'll be done with all of these bees. See, now she has purple on her. And see, that's because she got diseased from the queen bee. Wait, this isn't the end, this is the bar. Yeah, we'll say hi to Sid. Learn airship. Ask about airship. That's useless. Ask about Mithril. He doesn't know about Mithril. Ask about Wild Rose. He doesn't know about Wild Rose. He can fly you to anywhere, though. For a price. His airship prices are extortionary. Sleep. Plus side is her MP is now up to like freaking 66. This town is so terribly laid out. Yeah, we'll get a... Do you not sell black magic at all? Items. Oh wait, we need to hire the boat, didn't we? Oh fine, we'll go back in and hire the stupid boat. At least your boat is decently priced. It's also very important to have the boat in the right place for certain things. Because if the boat is on the other side here, like if the boat is in Poft, you can't go to Paloom and hire the boat. The boat has to be docked in the town you want to hire it from. Which means if you don't bring it back to this side, the next time you need to go over there, you have to walk it. Hey guys, we found Mithril. 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 We got Mithril. We got Mithril here. And you don't even care that I brought the... Now you're asking me about a dreadnought. Ask about airship. Okay. Mithril. You found the Mithril. Now we'll be able to fight the Empire. Take it to Tobal. Ask about the Dreadnought. Learn the word airship. And then we ask you about airship, but you don't talk about the Dreadnought at all. You just talk about Sid. You know what? Screw you, Hilda. We're gonna go ask the king. He is useful. Hey, Kingy. Ask about the Dreadnought. The Empire would build it? Oh no. Okay, that's less helpful. We believe Mithril was common before. Oh, okay. I have Mithril. Nothing happens though. Okay, so the king wasn't as helpful this time. And now my favorite interaction in the entire game. What could you want with me? I'm just an old man. If I had some mithril, I bet I could make some pretty impressive weapons. Oh, that's mithril. I've been waiting for a long time to chance to work with this metal for as long as I can remember. All right, leave it to me. Swords, armor, you name it. I'll start crafting. It's been a long time. Let my hammer ring. He just goes from like totally like, oh, I'm an old man, blue, 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 to like, here's some Mithril just going, yes, for the revolution. See, now the downside is since we've leveled up their fists, no weapons will ever be as good as their punching. A mithril helm, mithril armor. What can I sell that would help here? Yeah, we have some bucklers, some leather armor, some clothes, a bronze shield, I guess. I don't really, yeah. What does garlic do? It does damage to the undead. I don't really think I need that so much. It's a fairly unitasker kind of item. I don't really need that in my inventory, I don't think. Only buy one mithril gloves still. I mean, that's got 24 magical interference. Why are gloves? I guess maybe because you cast with your hands, like you're shooting spells from your fingers, that gloves would give more magical interference than armor would. Despite the fact that armor covers the majority of your body. I don't know. Yeah, I keep forgetting to buy spells. What do you have? Oh, I actually can get Thunder and Blizzard. And an extra cure. Teach Peanut Butter all of the black magic. And I'll teach Gizmo Cure just in case. That way he's got the means to actually try and do something here. See, fire and them are pretty good to like level up. Magic is better at leveling in this game than weapons are, because weapons can only gain skill points based off of the difficulty of the enemies you're fighting. like they're broken down into tiers, and depending on like the higher the tier, the more likely you are of gaining a skill point in that weapon. Whereas magic will grow just based off of the number of times it gets used. So it doesn't matter what level your enemy is at. You could just go and like smack them, you know, go to the highest level enemy as you can, go to the lowest level enemy as you can. Doesn't matter. As long as you, it's just number of casts per level that you need to hit with magic casters. Which makes some sense when you think about the fact that, you know, they're a lot of their spells don't target enemies. I don't know. But it does make them easier to do. All right, we're going to skip all the jumbo here. We're going to actually talk to this guy. The one guy you would never think to talk to, because every other time you've tried to talk to a knight from the Empire, they've attacked you and been super OP and kill you in one shot. But this one's cool. And you just ask him about the Dreadnought, and you tell him Wild Rose, and he lets you in. How are you supposed to know that? I don't know, because generally the game has trained you not to try to talk to those guys. This is kind of a cool, not this, but like in the map area, like a cool remix of the Imperial theme. Which, fun fact, is actually used throughout Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn as the music of the Garlean Empire. Whenever they have a scene, you'll recognize this tune playing. Dun 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 dun. It's true. I didn't even realize that at first, because by the time I played my way through Final Fantasy XIV plenty of times. By the time I first played this game, wait, where was another chest? Okay, it's over there. It's right before we get to the door. Burn! A lot of snakes in this part of the game. I'm realizing it. I like how they give you all the equipment you don't need anymore. So generally, if you find your characters getting stuck with their skills at a certain level, especially their weapon skills, it's generally because you've kind of capped out as high as skill points as you can get for that tier of enemies, and it's not going to go to you and get to a new area where there's another group of enemies that are a little bit higher in tier, like a higher difficulty rating, that will give you more skill points. Oh, hey Leon. I mean, Cheebs. I mean, Darth Knight.
You are too late. The Dreadnought is complete and operational.
And then the pirate-looking freak. Do we get the cutscene in this version? Aw, no, we don't. When we originally played it, we played the Dawn of Souls version way back in the day, and it had like a cool cutscene where you got to see like all the machinery withdrawing from... The heck, man? Jerk! They just blew up those two, though. See, I don't need garlic to fight the undead when we have fire. But here's something I've learned. Since the last time we played this 5 years ago. I figured out what this is for. Those who remember my original playthrough, remember I found this. I didn't know why or what it did or what it was for. And then when I got to the point where we were actually supposed to use it, I completely forgot about it and ended up having to fight my way through a bunch of stuff. We'll be smart this time. Yes, leave. Through the teleporter. Which takes me out of town, too? Do you guys, like, sell ether? No. Maybe you sell ether. You do. They're $1,000, 1,000 gil a bottle? That's ridiculous. No thank you, sir. I'll just stay at the inn. With the weird scaling in prices everywhere. Because, yeah, the inns are always priced based off of the percentage of your health that you are missing. Ugh, I always hate it when the big groups get to go first. I think your chances of ambushing should go down if you're in a group larger than the group you're attacking. Like, one monster should have a better chance of hijacking and surprising you than, 20. Then again, I would do things like make it so if you're in the forest, you have a higher chance of being ambushed. No, I don't want to learn airship. I want to ask about the dreadnought. What you want to do with blow up that thing's engine? Right? How do we blow up the engine? Sunfire, thank you. That's the word we needed. Because now we can go and bring up... Because if you don't do that conversation like right here, then they make you come all the way back here after you go back to Altair. And there's like, you should go ask Sid how to blow it up. If we do this on our way back from Bofsk, we can actually just save a trip and just ask them about Sunfire, because... Hi, everybody. Looks like your town got blown up. But it's okay, because everybody is still in the shops. Hi. Yep. Minwu left the party. Right, I know that Sunfire. Sunfire is from the Kingdom of Kashuan. Please question, what can you use to bring it back? I don't know. Maybe a stick? These games seem to really like sticks. Your Majesty. Stick? Learn Goddess Bell. What is the Goddess Bell? Whereabouts of the bell are only known to the Kashuan royal family. Well, shoot. Do we know where Gordon is? Has anyone seen that moron? The gates of Kashuan keep open to those who... But Gordon isn't here because he's useless. So you must do some other stuff. Go talk to Yosef. Who's Yosef? He's that guy we didn't really talk to at the when we went to get the mithril. His name was Yosef. Did you know that? I didn't. Everyone evacuated to the shelter of the resistance thing, except for the people who run the shops. They stayed put. Also, we lost Minwoo. And he took his junk with him, too, so now we're, you know... I think he took his junk with him. Oh no, he left his junk here. Excellent. Because he had some better armor that's got some healing stuff and whatnot. Or less magical interference. Yeah, you never really have a reason to go through Paloom. Other than, like, the 10 steps it takes to go talk to that guy to get the ship. There's never a reason to go to the rest of the town unless, like, you really want to go shopping. And you can. Welcome to Summit Falls. Oh, no, this isn't Summit Falls. This is Salamand. Which is ironic because salamanders are normally associated with fire, and this place is cold. Brrr. Hey, Yosef. Yep. Got a spell. And now Yosef joins the party, which is good because Minwoo was gone. I'm sure he has great stats compared to everybody else, right? Oh, good. He has rank 1 everything except for fists. And a third of the XP of the HP of our lowest HP member. I'm sure that's not going to be a trend. So now we got to go get his snowmobile. I always liked Yosef's sprite though. It looks like he's got like a business, like you know, a button-down shirt and tie with a poncho over it. Sailing down the river, happiness is a warm cup of joe. What, you don't know that song? Oh, you probably wouldn't. It's from a band you've probably never heard of. Because they only exist in my head. So yeah, we didn't really notice this earlier. But there's this big blue thing here. And the only purpose it is to give you a clue of where Yosef has to go and... A passage to... The wall just collapsed. You're making it sound like a door opened. How? No, seriously, how? How did you fit that into that? Well, now we've got the snowmobile and... Which means we can now go up here. To the snowy area. And travel. The snowmobile is a boat with wheels. And we're fighting the snowmen. We're not called Yetis for some reason. Okay, we're fighting snowmen and icicles. Why do I feel like we just got trapped in a McDonald's Christmas commercial? If you're over 30 years old, you should remember the one I'm talking about. It stood out and is kind of creepy. I mean, a lot of their ads with Ronald McDonald were kind of creepy, especially if, like, removed in context. But the Christmas one especially was... Actually, one second here. They've got to exist right here. Here it is. It's this little girl walking around in, like, the snow. It's got, like, this whimsical, like, almost... like that same music they used in, like, Home Alone, where it's kind of whimsical, but at the same time kind of terrifying. And then out of nowhere... and then he performs dark sorcery. And that kid was never seen again. Just saying. The Deadheads. I've actually never been a big fan of the Grateful Dead. Just never really clicked with me. I don't really have a problem with them. I don't sit there and have to say like, oh, they're bad or anything like that. Just music that never really jived with me. I had a friend in high school who was a really big like Deadhead. Just weird for a 15-year-old. Just gonna say it. It's really weird for a 15-year-old to be that into the Grateful Dead. Turns out he wasn't that into it because then I saw him again like 2 years later and he was like a hardcore raver. Which is a transition. If I ever saw one. Okay, she is like ripping through these guys with her spells now. Look at some of this damage. And that's on a multi-target spell. Like a single target spell, she was like getting 500 plus off of them. Okay, so there's one on the far side over there. And then there's a way to go up one. I'm just kind of surprised her fire skill hasn't leveled up yet. A Mohawk gained some more strength. Oh, I think her fire just leveled up finally. The big trick with the whenever you level up a spell is, unfortunately, like every time it gets higher in rank, it costs more MP to cast. So when it's rank 5, it's going to take 5 MP. Which means you can cast fewer times every time it ranks up. So her magical interference is, yeah, give you an idea. His is 152. Hers is 14. Let's see what's in this chest. An antidote. Probably left so those hikers have something they can take when they get all sick in here. I mean, I'm more weirded out by the fact that you could get Arctic Wind. Monsters? Why would I want monsters? I got monsters in my chest. And it's not a metaphor. That gave me a mithril mace, which I already had. Sadly, peanut butter is no longer got enough MP to do anything in these dungeons. Hey, his sword leveled up. Congrats, Bosco. I don't know who Bosco is. I don't think that's from anything. I think I don't know. I'm sure I've heard the name Bosco somewhere. I've often wondered in this game how much of things you could sequence break. Like in terms of like just going and getting things done early and running around and grabbing things before you should. I know you can't come here and get the goddess bell early because that requires the snowmobile, and you can't get the snowmobile early because the only way to get that is to talk to Yosef with the goddess bell keyword. And you can't enter the snowy area without the snowmobile. Now, if you want to go into a volcano, that's fine. That's not snow. Snow requires a snowmobile. Lava, no. You're good. Remember 2 floors ago when Peanut Butter had MP, we could get through these fights so much quicker? Okay, there's 2 more chests in here. Do I need all the chests? Generally, no. Not really at this point. I don't think the chests ever have anything you can't just... Until, like, the final dungeon, I don't think the chests have anything that you can't just get in a shop somewhere. But I keep holding out hope that one of them has an ether in it. And that's gonna save me, you know, 1,000 gil. That's a spear. I don't really need a spear. Or a spear. Or a spear. Or a spear. I could probably use some smear, though. Nothing? Nothing? Nothing. You see what I mean about it? Like, it trains you to just assume that doors don't have anything in them. And yet, we are compelled to go into them. Every single time. I haven't met a single person who's played this game who hasn't been compelled to some degree to go in every single door they see. Even knowing that for the vast majority of them, there's nothing in them. Oh no! The caster who can't cast anything has been paralyzed. Here they are. Snurk! Slut! Snurk! Slut! Snurk! Slut! Snurk! Slut! Snurk! Slut! Snurk! Snurk! Slut! Mohawk speak beaver. Snurk! Snurk! Slut! Secret passage at wall to right. Monster guard bell. Bell in wall. There are layers to this scene. One, the sheer awesomeness that guys speak beaver. The obviousness of, oh yeah, it's that way and there's a monster and the bell's in the wall. Like, could we get any more details on that? Or... And 3, I think the most important point actually is, who thought beavers looked like this? You can't tell me that they have beavers in Japan. We've looked this up. So this isn't even like a matter of ignorance. Like, oh, well, they don't know what a beaver is. No, they do. But who thought the saber-toothed tigers were beavers? I have no idea. I have no explanation for this, but this has carried on all the way through the modern Final Fantasies, where there are beavers that look like this and are called beavers. Here, show him the ring that we got from Scott. Nothing happens. Well, thank you. And I'm not like ripping on anything. I love those little guys, but I'm just trying to. I am utterly baffled about the design choices there. Although I completely love the fact that it got turned into a magic card. Alright, we're gonna just... And then these guys just show up. They haven't been anywhere else in the dungeon. You think these icicle guys are like related to Ice-T? Like, sup? These are my homeboys. Icicle Eye. I don't know. I think it's possible. Would not be the weirdest people he's ever hung out with. That would be the hip-hop kangaroos in Tank Girl. Have you ever seen Tank Girl? It's a wild movie. You should check it out. I wholeheartedly endorse it. At least in this version, the Adamantoise actually looks like a decent, like, enemy that you have to face. Yeah, I forgot to... Items. Change equipment. Remove. Items. Change equipment. Remove. Punch the turtle. There we go. Again, punching works in this game. I really don't think there's... I don't know if they intended it to be as broken as it is. But man, can you like just get through this entire game solely just by punching things? It's the goddess bell. Take it. It'll lower the escalator. Escalators. That's when the elevator, you go in a box that moves diagonally very slowly. Oh no! It's... Have we met? See, weird pirate looking dude. Really weak pirate dude. Wonder how much health he actually had. Yay, we just go past him. I'll be waiting for you in hell, Unga. Remember that he said that, chat. Remember that he said he'll see us in hell. Because I think there's a very good chance that we will see him in hell. No, Joseph, don't. Where'd the rock go? Yoda, out! I will say, I do like the designs of these characters, like the Sasquatch and the Snowmans. Now, in this case, would it be Snowmans or Snowmen? Because it seems to be a proper name, like a snowman, like clownfish, right? Meaning that it's not necessarily indicative of gender. There are female snowman, I assume. So would the plural be snowmans in that case? Look, I know we're all broken up about the sad, sad death of Yosef, which I think was his name. But I'm sure that's just a one-off tragic thing that happened, and we're not going to lose anyone else. Sid, get back here and give me a ride. Wasn't there something else we were supposed to do in this town? I can't think of one. All right, moving on. Yeah, we're not going to level up off of goblins at this point, I don't think. Well, let's see. I don't think we need... Now that we got the goddess bell, I don't think we really need... to go back to Altair for anything. I mean, we can, and they'll probably explain some stuff, like what's going on and whatnot, but I'm betting I can just... You know what? We'll do this. Just in case. We'll quick save. And I want to go to Kashwan. I don't understand Sid's pricing scheme. Like, if you actually look at it, a lot of the prices are a lot cheaper to go to places like Finn is 600. Which is a lot. It's the most expensive one. But if you go... you could go to the town Galtea or whatever, the town right south of Finn, just across the lake, quarter of the price. So it doesn't seem like a distance thing. Key item, goddess bell, open the door, get on the floor. Everyone find Gordon. Or... Like, the keep is riddled with secrets. I don't know where to go either. Dang it, Gordon. Yeah, I want to say that the only time you actually have, like, one of the few places you have a door that leads to a treasure, I want to say is actually this one right here, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, for the most part, they're always empty, but I want to say... Nope, it's not this one. It is one of the ones in this tower, though. This is another one of those places that's like having the actual map built in, like in the Pixel Remaster, kind of ruins the some of the challenge of some of these. This is a maze, but if you could just look at the map, it's hardly a maze then, is it? $500 gil. That's half of an ether. Ogres are a lot like onions. You can just punch them really hard to make them go away. Ah! Were-rats! The greatest enigma of Final Fantasy! So are we betting this place has 5 floors? I know, I just feel like that's a good guess. Anyone want to take a bet on whether or not Gordon's going to survive? Weren't you just the boss in the last dungeon? I don't think it's a little soon for you to be, like, fighting us. You ran away. The Adamantoise ran away. All right. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? That's a new one on me. I don't think I've seen that one before. A lot of doors. Oh no, Mohawk, you're blind! How are all of you, like, getting blinded? I mean, you'd think Gordon would be the one who's getting blinded. All right, let's actually see here. Found it. the Werebuster. A spiked mace that is effective against beasts. Gordon, no one cares about you. You don't get anything. So yeah, I think that's one of the few doors that actually has a... actually has something behind it. I think Werebuster would do something on the guy. Since it's a beast, is it not? Fine, what's in this one? Nothing! How am I shocked? Will Gordon survive? Somehow Gordon is actually hanging in there. Pure coincidence, really. I honestly just want to see how fast I could, like, how long it takes to kill him off. Lots of doors. None stairs. Monsters. I mean, it's a treasure chest sitting in the middle of a giant room. It's gonna have monsters in it. I'm sorry. It just is. But it also contains the golden armor, which would be great for no, it's gonna go on him. It's gonna go on Gizmo. And somehow Gordon continues to hang in there. Stop running away, turtle! Oh, hey, treasure chests. Not even slightly useful treasure chests either. Here. There's a poll for you guys. Will Gordon survive to the boss? This might be the end. No, Gordon is still alive. Because I want to say this is... No, this is not the boss. No one with 100% of the vote. I don't blame you. I'm on the same boat. He's got 14 health left, and we've got to get all the way down this hallway with him like taking no hits. The fairness, he has been very good about blocking hits. Oh, but poor Mohawk, he got poisoned. You know what? Let's take some of these nice potions and let's give Mohawk some. There we go. So this time we're going down. And Gordon blocks the hit. No, there he is. Gordon down! Gordon down! And it was literally 5 steps away from the boss. Gordon goes down. Wow. Gordon, you are useless. Oh, I've heard there was a monster guiding Eggle's torch. It's a red soul. But remember, the red soul absorbs magic. Woo, that was toasty. Let's see how he deals with Punchy Punchy. Oh yeah, Punchy Punchy work way better on Red Soul than Stabby Stabby. There, done. Punching, man. Punching. Gordon's still laying there on the floor. Oh, look, it's Eggle's torch. Yep. And then we'll use Cure Magic. So we can wander right back in and use Egil's torch to steal the fire, and now the fire that has remained here for generations is in our pocket. And then there's a noise. And then this scene never made sense to me. Tell me, what information did you glean from that? Anything? Anything at all? For the life of me, I never could until I actually played this again and actually went through the effort of going back to Altair between getting the Goddess Bell and getting the Egil's torch. And there's a bit of a conversation where they mention the fact that it's like, you go to Kashuan and get the torch and the fire, and then Hilda's like, I'll meet you with Sid as soon as you're done. So that's the clue, the fact that when they flying out there, that's supposed to be them meeting you, but they get captured by the Empire. Hi, Chocobo. Right, normally I would go just straight on and continue on, but at this point I need MP. So I'm going to come back up here so I can get a rest in. Does sleeping at the inn resurrect Gordon? Nope. Nor does it cure my blindness. And now that I say that out loud, I realize how silly it sounds. There, now I've got some ethers for backup. And we'll use the eye drops. Fine, we'll Phoenix down Gordon this once. Everybody gets one. I'm utterly surprised Maria slash Peanut Butters. I don't know why I changed their names if I'm just going to call them by their original names. MP isn't going up. Hey, Gigantoads! That's a new enemy. And hey, they just took a quarter of Gordon's health down. Gordon, I do not foresee good things in your future with this. I'll get another Chocobo. Because we've got to go all the way to the bottom of this. I don't know. It's like a continent, but it's also like has a little land bridge that connects this one and the upper part of the map. Take that, flat earthers. See, there's that. But if I kept going this way, I just end up at the top of the map, and I can wander all the way over to Altair from here. Right now, or Altair and Finn. Now, remember what I said? I have found that pass back in Bofsk, and I couldn't remember it, and I didn't know what it was for. What do you want? See, last time I did this, I was like, aha, well, what about that one guard we found over in Bofsk that we had to say the code word to, right? And I said the code word, and then this guy attacked me, which was awful. But this time, I've learned. We finally found a use for this pass that we totally forgot about. Oh, terribly sorry. Welcome aboard. Apparently it makes me like a general or something. Time for the next watch, if you'll excuse me. And then he just leaves. And we never have to deal with him again. which is a lot better than almost dying into a game over with the fight thing that happened.